Hello and welcome to Anime Animosity. And as you can see, we are here on livechart.me for another seasonal rundown retrospective, this time for summer of 2019. So, without further delay, let's jump right into it. First off with Kimetsu no Yaiba, or Demon Slayer. And I'm sure 90% of everyone has heard of this show. Because it, broke the internet or something when episode 19 came out. And also, the movie came out this year. For me this year. Last year for Japan. And, of course, Demon Slayer is a very big property. It's a very big name. It's a very popular anime. And with good reason. And with the second season, hopefully, still coming out this year. Well, it is. It's just how much of it will be a new season. How much of it will be a recap of Mugen Train, given some rumours that have been going around. But Demon Slayer as a whole is absolutely fantastic. Genuinely, it really is. It's very good shonen, even if it isn't the most. It's not perfect. I'll say that outright. It, in my opinion, didn't live up to the hype that people had built up around it. But that is on me for taking what people have said and building up my own expectations too much, instead of going into it blind and then experiencing it entirely for myself. But Demon Slayer is still good, do not get me wrong. As a shonen, it is one of the better shonens to have come out in modern times, and probably for a good while. So, if somehow you haven't checked out Demon Slayer yet, give it a watch, and if you can get around to it, give the movie a watch whenever you are able to. Next, we will have to skip Dr. Stone, because I haven't actually watched it yet, and move on to Dalmachi 2. So, I've talked about Dalmachi when I talked about Dalmachi 3 in one of my other retrospectives. Dalmachi is one of my favourite anime. Comfortably. It's just is. I don't really know why. It just has a very nice feel to it. And Season 2, well, again, has a very nice feel to it. It has that Dalmachi feel that I really like. It's not an isekai. Don't let anyone tell you this is an isekai. It isn't. I'm planning to do a video on what actually is an isekai, but that'll happen sometime in the future, but not now. What was I saying? Yes, so Dalmachi is a lot of fun, and it's really cool. Okay, I find Dalmachi cool. I love the characters. I love Eyes. Bell, he's a decent enough main character, and the rest of the cast are all enjoyable. Dalmachi is honestly worth your time. This isn't really arguments anymore, but I have heard that in the past it was compared to a lot with Sword Art Online and called a Sword Art Online clone. And having watched both, I don't even remotely understand how you can compare the two. At least even in terms of just story writing, but also setting and characters and the whole point of the show. But that's not what we're getting into here. Dalmachi is genuinely a really good show that I think you should go check out if you have the time. I have already talked about Fire Force, so we shall move on to a disaster piece in Arifureta. Now, Arifureta isn't actually that bad. But hear me out. Yes, it's an adaptation disaster with it changing studios a few months before it was supposed to come out, it not being heavily delayed, awful CGI, and yet somehow it's getting a second season. And if you ignore all of the glaring issues with the Arifureta anime, it's not complete trash. It's not complete garbage. And it's honestly decently enjoyable. At least enjoyable enough to where you'll have a good time watching it, even if it is most of the time spent laughing at the terrifyingly bad CGI. This is also an isekai. This is an isekai. But that doesn't matter. Arifureta, yes, our main character is pretty edgy, but I don't blame him. I'd think I'd be pretty edgy if I went through what he went through, so, But honestly, give Arifureta a chance. Don't let the ugly visuals and people's opinion of it drag it down. Check it out and build your own opinion on it. If you dislike it, you dislike it. If you don't, well, then you just found another anime you like. And you can thank me later. Moving on, we have a pretty big show that is also getting a second season that was announced just recently. And that anime is Vinland Saga by Wit Studio. Now, this anime, the first season of Vinland Saga, was decent. It was good enough. Do I think it was as hype as I'd heard? Do I think it was as, absolutely fantastic, overly slept on? No, not at all. But it is definitely really, really good. The first season was good. Like, it just was. It sets everything up really well. But that's what it does. It's a setup. And you can definitely feel that based on where the end of the first season is heading and what happens. The end of the first season was the point I found the absolute most enjoyment in, because it was starting to get into something. It was less setup and building what was going on, building all these relations and all of that. And it started shifting into, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the story we want to tell. And Thorfinn is a fantastic main character. Thorfinn's a really good main character. And from what I've heard about him from manga readers, he gets better. Because the manga for this is considered one of the best. So, assuming the adaptation of the second season goes really well, we should be looking forward to getting more of that absolute masterpiece of a manga in anime format. And I believe Wit Studio is doing it, so it will look absolutely incredible. Don't let CGI people turn you off, because honestly, the CGI in this show's not half bad, especially when compared to the previous show we just talked about. But genuinely, give Vinland Saga a watch. It is worth your time, especially with the second season on the horizon. And we move now to Fureba Season 1, or Fruits Basket Season 1. I've talked my piece about Fruits Basket, so I won't talk your ear off here about it anymore. But just know, Fruits Basket is really good. It just is really, really good. Give Fruits Basket a watch if you like slice of life romance anime. Even if you don't like shoujo, give Fruits Basket a watch. It's worth your time. But enough about Fruits Basket. Let's move on to this interesting show. Kawaii karaba hentai to demo suki ni natte kuremasu ka? Could you love a girl? Could you love a pervert even? Could you love a pervert if she was a cutie? I believe that's the English title. This show is interesting. It has a Fujo, an S, an M, a sister. That's the most troubling one. A lolly that isn't actually a lolly. Or is she? I can't remember. I think she is. It's been a while. But this show is pretty mediocre. But mediocre enough that it's enjoyable and not a complete waste of time. It's not bad, but if you're not into, or if you are put off by any of the, what you can probably gather from this show if you read the synopsis, this is not going to be for you. And that's really as cut and dry as it is. If you are put off by any of what you see in that synopsis, do not watch this show, because it's much, much worse. It really, really is. And now, I'm going to move on to a show that I haven't actually watched, but I do want to talk about a little bit. And that is Kalantano Astra, or Astra Lost in Space. This is a show I've heard pretty good things about, and am planning to watch some point soon. Some point soon, that was a great sentence. So, perhaps expect a video on that at some point in the future, if it turns out to be a really good watch, and I think that more people should go check it out. Oh boy. 通常攻撃が絶対攻撃で2回攻撃のお母さんは好きですか? Do you love your mom and her 2-hit multi-targeting attacks? So, this show's bad. Like, it's bad. But everyone already knew that, based on that disaster of a title. However, having watched it and spent time watching it for some unknown reason, I can tell you that this show is not worth your time. It's not even one of those, it's so bad it's funny. It's just not that good. It's just mid. It tries to be funny by, subverting your expectations with tropes, only to explain the joke and therefore kill all the funny of the joke. Yeah, this show's not that. It fails to be a comedy. It also mostly fails to be an adventure. It's purely an isekai. A trashy, somewhat incestuous isekai. But if you enjoy any of those words I just said, sure, give it a watch. You'll probably find a new favorite anime. But if you didn't, or are like, to any of what I just said, then, well, yeah, that's exactly what you're going to get. Hell, even if you did like any of the words I just said, you probably still won't enjoy this show. And now we move on to the show directly below it. Araburi Kisetsu no Otome Domo yo, or O Maidens in Your Savage Seasons. This show is fantastic. This show's really good. It's a show about teenage girls in puberty. And saying that out loud, I feel very strange. And I'm sure that concept doesn't pique anyone's interest all too much. But trust me when I say that this show far exceeded what I thought it'd be. I'd heard some decent things about it, but I did not think it would be as good as it was. I don't want to talk too much about the story of this show, so you can experience it yourself, but it is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best. I feel it feels wrong to say that because I feel like I say that all the time, but it is a fantastic and really, really good romance drama. But honestly, that's not even the focus of it. It's more the characters involved. It's a really good character-driven story. The characters in the show are genuinely really, really good. I know I'm throwing out buzzword after buzzword, but trust me, this show is worth me throwing out all of these buzzwords because it is actually pretty good. If you like your character-driven, somewhat romance-y stories with a little bit of drama and some slice-of-life elements, you will really like this show. I can guarantee that. Even though the cast is almost entirely female, it's still a shonen. So don't be put off by the fact, I don't really like shoujo because it's not a shoujo. So fuck you, mate. Fuck you. If the video, never mind. And I believe that might be everything. If I have a quick scroll, we can have a quick look if there's anything else I have to talk about for this season. But I'm of the impression that there won't be. Oh fuck, Bakugan, the remake of that. Bruh. That's a throwback to my childhood. Yeah. And so everyone, that brings summer of 2019 to a close. What did you think of the season? Did you enjoy it? I'm sure you did, because Demon Slayer came out, and everyone and their nan's dog watched it. Well, it didn't come out, it continued into summer. But this is when episode 19 aired, so, did it come out this season? Let me actually have a quick, hold on. Don't mind me. Yeah, it finished in summer. So, if this is when episode 19 came out, so I'm sure you almost certainly enjoyed the summer season. Or at least will, now knowing that that's when one of the internet shattering moments of anime happened. And I still lack a convenient segue into my outro, so if you like this video, leave a like, sub, comment, ring the notification bell, do whatever the fuck you feel like. It's up to you. But with that said, I've been Animosity, you've been you, and I'll get to you all next time for another video. Ta-ta for now.